So we're not gonna, at the 4-H level here, we're not gonna do away with that talk, but rather we're gonna just modify it. And so what I'm asking the kids to do this year is to present a poster. So they're gonna do like a poster presentation, basically. We will submit those digitally. I'll work with the team from electric co-ops, and we'll have TV set up where those posters will rotate throughout the thing so parents and people can come see the poster presentations. And then what the kids will do is that 5-minute presentation time, what they'll do is they'll do a manned poster presentation. So they will go in with the judges and just kind of go over the highlights of that poster with the judges. And then the judges will evaluate the poster as well as their presentation skills for that. So that keeps that communication portion still within our program for this event. I'm certain Brad probably already has his courses built, probably. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at
That's on the agenda for next week, Hope. I'm not done that yet.
That's when I go home and warm up, I'm going to start building it. So one of the big changes, the obstacle course, nothing has changed on that, but let me find it. So the obstacle course hasn't changed. That's the same. I'm just going to go through and make sure everything is tight and keeping with the schedule. I know we had a couple things that Brad helped us emergency repair last year. The challenge course is going to be, again, on 2 different platforms. It's going to be very similar in the aspect of this is going to be an elevator gate that they have to open and close, and water sensors. The big change that the kids are going to face this year is at national. They say I don't have to do it at regional, but I am, because they'll face it at national. Is this, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but right here on the first obstacle here, where these weighted balls have to be relocated into a basket behind the elevator. This is where the temperature sensor is, and it's a geothermic vent. So there's going to be air bubbles coming out of this. So they're going to have to negotiate motion within the water. We will have bubbles coming through the system. So that could add a little bit of a challenge. It's just going to be a simple aquarium air pump with a diffuser inside there. And I wanted to keep it consistent with national so that they're not blindsided when they get there. We have 4 spots this year for us to utilize. So I will probably send 2 senior teams or I'll probably send 1 of each, an open class, a senior, and a junior team for the normal, and an at large. I've got to figure that out still. Today they opened up with an additional at large positions available. So if you feel you want to go without doing the regional competition, you have that opportunity. I'll send that out to my coaches today. Registration, it's $80, not $60. I misspoke in the email. It's $80 per team. And then we're going to do that through Z Suites. That is open right now. What I'm going to suggest you do is, when you guys as coaches register your teams, register your team captain and then his team, their team underneath them, so that we can keep each team separate in the Z Suite system. They don't really have it set up for me to do team enrollments. So I'm trying to find, I hate to say a workaround, but I'm trying to find a way to make that work for us easily to get the monies transferred. I've had 1 person register already as a volunteer. There's also an adult volunteer registration portal. So if you have somebody in your community who would like to volunteer as, say, pool manager, working, judging, any element of that, they can go into that system and register as an adult and tell me what they want to do, and I can place them in there. And there's no fee for that. I waive that charge, but it helps me keep track of the electrical co-op people and any other volunteers from our community who might want to have part. So if you have a sponsor, I'm not going to put them judging because of the conflict of interest, but we might be able to find a place for them to help out. And that way they feel they're part of the program and they get to visit and see the program itself. Otherwise, everything is going to be the same. It's going to be March 1st. We're going to get there around 8 o'clock. We should be done by 4. I'm going to be trying my darndest to get the UALR's women's swim team to be our people in the pool to do our emergency backup. That way I don't kill any 4-H program technicians or coaches and kids who volunteer to help us. I indebted to you, Brad, tremendously for your help last year, but we're going to try to not make that happen again. And so hopefully the ladies team will help us with that. Do you guys have any questions, concerns about this year's SeaPerch contest or things that you need from me?
Hope, I just had a real quick question.
Sure, Karen.
At nationals, I can't hear, so if I'm talking over somebody, I'm sorry. At nationals, they have the courses suspended. They're not all the way down on the floor because of the pressure, and obviously that pool's a whole lot deeper than what we're going to deal with. But even at the depth, the last year, mine experienced a lot of issues. So are they going to be on the floor again?
I will look to hang them this year. I think that would make it consistent with what nationals is. And so my goal is I have all the carabiners and rope to suspend them.
Okay, thank you.
Awards this year.
Will be on hand.
Okay, good. And
As
are
will
you
shirts. As will t-shirts.
good? Are you including this poster presentation in the scoring criteria?
Yes. Yeah, we will continue to keep that in the scoring criteria, just as always. The real world innovative poster will be held separately, as is, there was the additional of the community action. There is also a way for the kids to showcase community service that they're doing in their region. Because this is an international contest, they're not all 4-H or not highly outgoing and community service focused like we are. This is somewhere where we can shine at international, I think, because we have a leg up on it. But so there's an additional poster presentation that is available there that we can do. And so that'll be scored independently. So that'll be a separate trophy as well.
Okay.
Hey, Katie, welcome. All right. Any other?
That's about it, I think. Have you priced those aerators? Did you click on the link they put out there for those things?
I haven't, but I know how to. I'm sure they put the most expensive one out there.
No, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So
I was just going to be going down to the PetSmart and getting a couple $10 ones from the aquarium supply store.
yeah, but I'm only buying one of them. So,
Yeah.
but I think the key is you got to have enough. Those things have to put enough pressure out, because my understanding is that they have to take this thing over top of that bubble, and it has to collect air and it has to rise to the surface, is my understanding.
I don't, maybe international, not at this one. It didn't look like they were actually collecting the air. It was more in theory, but I'll have to go read through that again.
Okay. I thought that was, but I really, it's hard for me to conceptualize that until I get it built out and see what they're wanting to
because
do.
that'll be a problem, because they're using just normal cups. It's just a 16-ounce plastic cup that's weighted.
Yeah.
Pick up, move, and hang. But I'll look at that and get through you. I will have check valves so that if they get two, we can adjust the pressure coming through those. They make nice little valves. I probably have a dozen or so of them up in Michigan where my aquarium stuff is. That doesn't help me down here.
No.
It's okay.
It's always somewhere else, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My goal again is to have everything on hand this year, because I'm coming in at the front end. I've worked with Rob. I've already got all the facilities secured, meals secured for the judges, t-shirt orders as soon as I close it. those will be going out, the t-shirts designed. The courses are gonna look a little different, so the gate to the elevator is branded with a 4-leaf clover. And then the bases are going to have our SeaPerch logo on the bottom in a muted tone, so it doesn't interfere too much, but it's just to brand. I decided
Sure.
we have a lot of press there. I wanted to get the 4-H clover on it, and so that it's not
You
just
bet.
electrical co-ops talking, but they're seeing our clover. So
You bet.
I
I
took
believe
that.
in putting that clover out there as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, you know it. I'm always wearing it as
Put
a
it on everywhere you can.
right? So
Let's see, there was another question I just popped in my head, but I lost it. Maybe it'll come back to me in a second.
once I get through this week, I always say this week, right? And then there's always next week. I am starting a series of fact sheets related to SeaPerch. So you're going to get some frequently asked questions. I'm working right now on one on general engineering terms for people to consider. So when they're writing those TDR reports, they have an idea for what our judges are looking for, as well as our judges. I'm looking at posters are going to be digital posters. So just have them make a PowerPoint slide that's 3 foot by 5 foot. Save it as a PDF, and then I can rotate it and scroll them through on the TV monitors.
Are you gonna have a scoring rubric for that? I'm sure you are put
Yeah.
out.
You know me, I will have a rubric and I'll have that out. It's going to be based on this public speaking rubric we have.
Mhm.
I'll omit categories and change them up a little bit. All judging will be done again by iPad on poolside as well as in the room, so that those scores come through quickly and without question. I've got actually, the judges are gonna look like they are taking orders at Chick-fil-A, so I got the waterproof cases for them so that they're strapped to their neck and they shouldn't take a bath.
You bet.
Okay,
Oh, I know what I was gonna ask about was last year I developed a basic evaluation tool.
yes,
At the end of the year, last year, it's still out there and I'm not sure that. It doesn't need to be tweaked just a little bit because I threw it together pretty quickly. But I think maybe something we should consider is. It's pretty powerful evaluation if we could get all the students that do SeaPerch to take that evaluation.
so what I can do is I have my tech change makers, I can have them there with iPads. And we'll
Mhm.
have QR codes set up all around the student center. If we can get together, go through that. I
Sure,
would like to do that. I would like to take you guys as my agents and coaches. I've had this requested for us to take this nationwide. And so NAE, 4-H, YDP, and Boise has asked about us presenting. And I think that if we could get you guys on board to work with me as experts on this, and we could talk about, the impact it has through the surveys, but also the building of collaboration with local people such as Rob Rodell and the electric co-ops and the support that they give to us. There's a lot of ways that we could look at this as a very good presentation publication potential. And
sure.
I think, as I know, I'm working on my promotion document, and a lot of you guys are coming up to your marks too. It'd be something that would look really good on your a check mark for you to make.
Sure.
All right. Would I'm hesitant to put sample TDRs out there just because of the competition element of it all and whatnot. But if you have questions about your TDRs or your technical design reports, don't hesitate to reach out to me and I can give you the technical design reports. Because we're doing the poster presentation, that aspect of the TDR is no longer in there, where they have the 1-page, they called it the poster, but it's where they had a picture, their team and all that information.
Yeah.
That's no longer in the technical design report. That's what the poster will be mostly. So we're just kind of pulling it out of one place, putting it in another.
Yeah, I don't even really know if that was even really judged very much.
It was, is it there or is it not, is how that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
And so, but now it's got to be there, but it's going to be a separate thing.
yeah, I think there's examples on the national website, but I understand the reason because we don't, I mean, since SeaPerch is not really a team, may not, but it's, you still may have the same team from year to year.
And they're
And
building on their team.
their engineering of their ROV may progress from year to year, and you may still have the same data
Right.
that you had
And
last year into this
Friday,
year.
I don't want
Yeah.
these teams to show their cards.
Exactly. I appreciate that.
And so that's why I wasn't gonna make ours available, but I can find some from other states perhaps.
Yeah.
I'll call Lori and see what I can get and maybe get some samples from international. But in the meantime, I'll encourage you, I'll give you, I'm making some worksheets up to kind of help with that writing of that report, letting you know what the judges are looking at. Be sure to go through those rubrics and see, because it is basically just checking marks. Hey, do I see 10 engineering terms? Do I, and we're going to scale those engineering terms. We're going to expect higher level out of a senior than I'm going to see out of a junior team. And so that is considered as well when they're doing that. You can't say buoyancy 10 times and say, oh, there we go. I used 10 engineering terms. It's the same term kind of thing too. So, okay. Any other questions? Katie, you're going to be brand new to all of this, aren't you? So you have a 4-H volunteer in Saline County that I will advise you to reach out to and talk to. And I will work with you as well, but Lori is, of course, this is her job now.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sure she would gladly.
I hope so, because I'm so new, I don't even know what kind of questions to ask, so.
I'm glad that you mentioned that was no presentation, because honestly, we've been building robots, but I have not even delved into that. So,
Yeah, I think that just doing a poster presentation. So when you go to international, what they're going to want you to do is it's not going to even be a poster.
it's not even on the competition list, because I was just looking at it.
Yeah, it's not competed, but
talking.
it's required. Meet the Team is required, but not judged. And all the information that we have on our Meet the Team is what goes into that.
I got you.
So you have to fill all that information out to go to international. So it gives us a way to clean that information up too before heading off. Okay. I mean, it'll run the same way too. March 1st is going to overlap again with archery, AYSSP archery. And so if you have teams that have to shoot, let me know as soon as possible and I can modify that. I know that Perry County, half of their teams last year were shooting. And so I had to rearrange my schedule to help them get their foot in the door. And I'm willing to work with my schedule as best I can. Deadline to register is, I knew someone was going to ask that. Let me really quick. Deadline, noon, January 31st. That will give me time to get trophies and all of that information.
Okay.
Again, they won't be custom, but I think that's okay. I think they want to walk away with hardware.
I think that's more important than anything.
Yep. And so I'll be getting those all ordered up probably before Christmas break even. And just,
Hope,
yeah, Mackenzie,
did you say the 21st?
31st, last
31st. Okay.
last day of January. That'll give me a month to make sure all my ducks are in a row, get everything laid out, set up, scheduled out. Depending on the numbers, this might be the last year of one event. If we hit the numbers I suspect we're going to hit, we will probably be dividing this into regional and then a state championship. So there'll be 2 opportunities to compete with your bots. We'll have a southern region, a northern region. And talking with Lori, It may be that we could just send qualifiers. I could get 3 and 3 and send multiple teams then from both regions. I might be able to get more opportunities to send kids international. But I wanna get my, pardon the pun, feet wet solidly in this before I start making changes. That's kind of always been my practice as a county agent, as a state, is I wanna play it a year before I change things up.
Sounds good.
All right. Stop this. I don't want to keep you all too long.